they kind of partner up with the Italians a lot, you know, and that's how it is.
Yeah, like you said, it like just like my parents grew up in the '50s. They were hungry, and then me, not that I'm not hungry, but I'm not going to do stuff that they do per se. And now the Albanians are hungry, so Italians will utilize them the smart rather than try to fight.
Right.
They partner with them.
They join, right. The Albanians are wild guys. Most of them that I know are all nuts. They're all nuts, most of them I know.
So you had a few stints in jail. Give us your last stint, and then I'm interested to hear of that point. You're connected, you're super connected, but you're a tough guy. Like, you handle yourself, but you're also connected, but you're in like state, right? You weren't even federal, correct?
State, yeah.
Okay, so you're Gene Borrello, you're in state.
No Italians.
No Italians, but I can tell you now, you look like a hooked up guy. Like, I could look at you and be like, you're hooked up. There's a blood, a crip, they respect that, or like, fuck no, we don't care. How does that work?
Well, they knew I was doing a lot of stuff in the street, so they wanted to get down with me in the street. They wanted to work for me. Yeah. So a lot of times I would have a lot of gang members doing stuff with me in the street. So when I was in jail, I was coming out in like articles and stuff like that. So they knew kind of, and I was always cool with them. They knew I wasn't a punk. I was looking out for people in jail. Kids that would come in that couldn't handle themselves. I would get a little table for them so they had a place to sit down and stuff like that because the gang members respected me. Yeah.
Nice. So you were smart. So you assimilated quickly. Now, why hasn't? So that's the other thing too. And I'm not just saying this, but that organization has been around for a long time, right? But other groups, like even gangs, have not really graduated to take over. So how does the future look? You think there's always going to be an Italian mob a weekend? Do you think it'll be extinct?
I think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna go eventually because the kids coming up now, they're not even interested in that. They're more playing Xbox, doing drugs. They're not really into like the street. You know what I mean? Yeah. 90s babies is kind of like different now. It's like 80s babies was the last of like not old school, but still kind of old school. You know what I mean? 90s babies is just a whole different generation. Everything's the phones and internet. It's totally different now. There's really nothing coming up. When the old timers stop dying, that's it. It's a wrap.
Now we're going to clue a little bit. You were on your third stint in jail. You did not inform. You were sitting tight. You were battle tested, frankly.
Right.
And what kind of brought you to cooperating? Give us those series of events, and then what was that moment?
No, I never said it. I never said this before, but it was almost out of spite. Okay. I got to say, like, I wanted to change. I was sick of the life, but I hated Ronnie G so much that I was hoping that I could just cooperate against him, but it don't work like that. I hated the guy. I grew so much hatred from that. I did everything for this man, and he turned on me. I literally would take a bullet for this guy, and he turned on me over nothing. That I literally almost did it out of spite. I wanted to see everything. I just wanted to. That's really what happened. But then I really started seeing also sitting down like nobody really does care. Everyone turns on you. As soon as you go in jail, everybody forgets about you. It's not like there's no loyalty. People are trying to rob your stuff, or they think, oh, he's gone now. Who gives a fuck about him? And it's just horrible, man. I devoted myself to people that didn't give a fuck about me.
Now, here's the thing, though. If you're comfortable chatting about this, on any interviews, I don't believe I've seen why you and him beefed or why, hey, this is what Ronnie did in order for me to lose faith. Are you comfortable sharing that, or is that something that?
Well, for one thing, he didn't practice what he preached. So he would send me after people, and then he would become friends with them. So he had me try to shoot a guy for him while he's in jail. The guy knows it's me. And then when he comes out, he's hanging out with him. I said, how the fuck are you going to bring this guy around me? You just try to shoot this guy for money. Oh, don't worry about it. I said, don't worry about it. The guy probably hates me now because you sent me to get him for you, but now you're hanging out with him. All these guys, when he went to jail, Mike Palmacio and Mike Padavona turned on him. Padavona fucked him over on money. They were all abusing him. They didn't like him. They were talking bad about him. I was the only guy that stood by him when I came home. And when he got out, he became friends with them again. I'm like, I don't understand. I'm like, you told me to stay away from them, all this stuff. Palmacio's this, Padavona's no good. And now you're with them. Now you're friends with them again. You tell me to stay away from them. So I started seeing his ways. And then he started becoming a little envious of me because, remember, he's got all the money. Yeah, he's a millionaire. I understand that he didn't like the fact that people feared me and that the fact that I was becoming a real mob guy. And he didn't like that. And I thought he did. He didn't. So basically, he was I feel like, trying to push me away purposely. And I seen it, and he was giving me ultimatums that I got in my book what he did to me, and he basically tried to make me pick, and I didn't like what he did. And then he started talking down to me in front of people and trying to belittle me all of a sudden. And he's supposed to be like my guy. And I ultimately robbed him for like $300,000, and I went to Florida. That's the truth. And I declared war on him. Yeah. Yeah.
For $300K and bolted to Florida?
Well, $250,000 of loan money that he didn't know where it was. I had his list. I fucked him on it. 250 G's.
Hey, I'm here. Whoa, this is a biggie. I'm here for Ronnie. Give me the.
It's the first time I ever told anybody this. Yeah, people know about the story, but 250 G's out in the street. I told him, go find it yourself, jerk off. He didn't know where a dollar was. And then I robbed him for like 50K cash.
And then so you blasted Florida, right? And in Florida, I know it's open territory, but there's some guys that way, lingering around. Did you go to the guys that you knew because you didn't give a shit?
Well, here's the thing. Ronnie G was very hated. So everyone still talked to me. I was talking to Palmacio while I was in Florida. That's a guy in his crew. They hated him. So he didn't even know that. I would talk to everybody. I was talking to Pudgy, everybody. Everyone in the circle. They all hated the guy. They couldn't stand him. They had no choice. He was his family's the whole structure. Yeah. So they all don't like him. I used to talk to everybody. Everyone's like, Gene, I wish he was gone and you were here. Everyone, I was like, listen, fuck him. I'm done with him. He go collect his money himself. And I declared basically war on him. Me and him were like hated each other. So that's really what happened. That was the truth. So, that's me just being nuts, and that's what happened. I don't let nobody fucking.
So it's no wonder why it's not lasting, because you have and he was a captain, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a captain, and theoretically there should be a soldier, and then you. So right off the bat, like, rank is kind of broke because you also had, in all fairness, you had unbridled access. Like a guy like you. I ran all his sports businesses. I ran his big sport. I ran all his money. I collect all his money. I met up with people that I wasn't even supposed to meet up with. For him, I used to give messages to people. Vinny used to talk in front of me openly, which is not even allowed. You know what I'm saying? He would talk right in front of me. I met the boss in the hospital visiting Vinny, Tommy D. He introduced me as, he'll be one of us soon, talking about, like, that's how he